Section 71. Mahamate once more asked, the Bhagavan has said knowledge is not obtained from an objectified world because it would consist in nothing more than the assertion of projections. Since a projection that can be grasped does not exist, nor does the one who grasps, grasping does not occur. Thus, knowledge does not arise, only the names of projections. But how is it, Bhagavan? Is it because we do not perceive whether the individual or shared characteristics of what exists are different or not that knowledge is not obtained? Or is it because it is obscured by the variety of individual or shared characteristics of what exists that knowledge is not obtained? Or is it because it is blocked by mountains or walls, or by the elements of earth, water, fire, or wind that knowledge is not obtained? Or is it because it is too distant or too near that knowledge is not obtained? Or is it because of blindness or dimness of wit or impaired senses due to immaturity or old age that knowledge is not obtained? Bhagavan, if it is because we don't perceive whether the individual or shared characteristics of what exists are different or not that knowledge is not obtained, then we should not speak of knowledge, but of an absence of knowledge, because something exists but isn't perceived. Or if it is because it is obscured by the variety of the individual and shared characteristics of what exists that knowledge is not obtained, that too is an absence of knowledge, not knowledge. Bhagavan, knowledge arises where there is something knowable, not where nothing exists. It is because we encounter what is knowable that we speak of knowledge. If it is because it is blocked by mountains or walls, or by the elements of earth, water, fire, or wind, or because it is too distant or too close, or because of blindness or dimness of wit, or impaired senses due to immaturity or old age that knowledge is not obtained, that too is not knowledge, but an absence of knowledge, because something exists but cannot be perceived. The Buddha told Mahamate, it is not so. The absence of knowledge is knowledge, not no knowledge. I am not concealing anything when I say that knowledge is not obtained from an objectified world because it would consist in nothing but the assertion of projections. When you perceive that what exists or does not exist is nothing but a perception of your own mind, and that external existence does not exist, you know without perceiving objects. It is because nothing is perceived that the knowledge of something knowable does not arise. Even among the three liberations, knowledge is not obtained. Those whose discriminations consist in the habit energy of beginningless fabrications of existence and non-existence would not know something like this. They are unaware of such knowledge. Therefore, I teach that the ceaseless projection of the existence or non-existence of an external world of objects is based on nothing but the perceptions of one's own mind. But because beings are attached to grasping the characteristics of a self and what belongs to a self, they do not perceive that these are nothing but perceptions of their own minds, and give rise instead to projections of knowledge and something knowable. Because of such projections, they are unable to ascertain the existence or non-existence of anything external, and base themselves on nihilistic views. The Bhagavan then repeated the meaning of this in verse.
There is an objectified world beyond the reach of knowledge, and the absence of knowledge isn't knowledge. This is what those who imagine things say. Something exists without distinctions, beyond the reach of knowledge, too near, too far, or somehow obstructed. This I call false knowledge. Among the young, the old, or impaired, knowledge doesn't arise, yet something exists as knowable. This too I call false knowledge.